Another beautiful day. Welcome to YouTube, HollaHard. I guess what I want to talk about today is 2017 Camaro SS, 2SS, that all the nicks and nannies for its options, except for sunroof, your front splitters, and side rock. But currently, I'm up to a build that I never thought that I would do, and that is supercharging. Currently, I'm at a build. The last dyno I made a peak of 628 rear wheel horsepower and 629 rear wheel torque. I'm quite happy. Put a smile on my face anytime that I get a chance to drive it, on the weekends or days off. When I first got the car, my intentions was just to have it as a nice fast weekend car, just cruise around. I consider that as my luxury sports car. Yeah, so when I bought the 2017, bought it brand new. A year prior to me buying that car, for me to become interested in buying it, a year prior to that was when I was on vacation and I had to get a rental. So one day a rental, I rented a Mustang. I've always been a Mustang fan or whatever, and of course with the rental it's just the V6 version. I rented that and I was just surprised at how on the power that it packed for the V6. Like, it was very speedy, it just felt good driving it, and I loved it. And then when on another day I had to get another rental, I got a Camaro, and when I drove that, I just fell in love with it. Even though it was a V6 version, it still, compared to the Mustang V6, it just felt more powerful. And I guess that's all the torque, push out more torque. I guess that's part of the reason why. But since then, I told myself, man, I gotta get one. And then a year and some months later, let me back up. When I came back from vacation, back home to Virginia, maybe a couple months later, I just went to the dealership, just look around at some or whatever, try to test drive one. But that particular day, it ended up raining by the time I got to the dealership or whatever, so didn't bother test driving or whatever. And when the sales rep gave me the cars or whatever, it was just give a call back for another day if you like test drive or whatever. But I never ended up going back. So a year passed by, and during that time frame, I kept telling myself I'm not going to jump into another car payment, because I just paid off my Altima. I had a 08 Altima. I had a 2008 Altima, and that was done, paid off, whatever, and I was good with that. And then I just kept telling myself, I'm not going to jump on another car payment. If anything, I'll just buy, because I really wanted to buy another Mazda RX-8 and just fix it up and just use it to do, I don't know, maybe track stuff or whatever, track road courses or autocrosses. But as time went by, the next thing you know is I'm having issues with my car. And, I got it repaired, fixed, this and that or whatever. But there was one big issue that was happening with it, and that was the oil pump within the engine was going out. And me just getting estimated prices, what it would be to get that fixed or whatever, basically came down to where the cost to fix the car was more than what the car was worth, because I had a lot of miles on the car. And I kept contemplating, like, well, bump it. I'll just go ahead and fix it and just hope that it could last me at least 2 more years. But during that time, I was like, shoot, I could just find me a cheap Honda or Camry or something. Time went on. For some reason, I couldn't tell you what provoked me, but I just woke up one morning before having to go to work. I woke up early too, and normally I don't go in till later in the afternoon. And I would just grab my phone, checking messages, and next thing you know, I'm on the website looking around for Camaros and Mustangs. There was a Ford dealership. I was looking around seeing what they had for Mustangs, but then telling myself, well, if I get a Mustang, let me get a Shelby. I was looking at the Shelby GT350s, and the pricing that they had for it was a little high than what I expected. Then I started telling myself, nah, don't get a GT350. If anything, I want a GT500. So I started looking around for those. Even for a used one, let's say for 2014, it was still close to the same for a brand new GT350. Now close, probably like within a 5,000 range apart for some that I found. But then some that was the same price, but they just had like low miles, like not even 10,000 miles on them. Then I'm like, let me check out Camaro. I started looking at Camaros. Then I started looking at ZL1s. The only problem though was the only ZL1s that they had local around within a 200-mile radius was ZL1 1LE packages. And it was already marked up to like, the cheapest I saw was 73, but most of them average around 75, 76. Then I started contemplating, like, let me just look at a 2SS. That'd be good enough for me. Found one for a decent price, 46, brand new, like no miles. Now I just made up my mind. I was like, alright, I'll check that out first, test drive it. Then I'll go to that Ford dealership and still go ahead and test drive GT350 that they had. Because I was thinking maybe once I test drive that, I'll just change my mind. Then I got up, went to the Chevy dealership, test drove that 2SS, and then apparently they actually had a ZL1 there, but it just wasn't listed on their website, and it was just a regular package. But they had that for $66,000, and I was eyeing that, but then the sales rep that I was dealing with, he had a 2SS himself, and he was just telling me all about it. Because throughout this whole process, I'm just learning more about the actual car itself. Like, I never consider myself a car guy. Like, back in the days, all I owned was like, I own a few different cars, but I was more into like imports. But even the imports I was into, I was never full power, and then like hook it up with rims, put Lambo doors, stuff like that, different paint, whatever. During this time, this would be my first time actually, even though I was always a Mustang fan growing up, I always kind of knew about Mustangs, but it got to a period where it's just like I never kept up. I stopped keeping up with, what the motor was, stuff, this and that or whatever. I never knew much about Camaros or anything Chevy or GM like that. And this rep guy was just throwing stuff at me, and I'm just catching on the info and learning. And then basically he was just telling me the crank horsepower is rated, but the actual wheel power is on this much, this and that or whatever. And he was telling me that I might come out, if I really wanted power like that, I'd come out cheaper just adding a supercharger later down the line, or giving me an example of typical price. But then I don't know, somehow the whole time he kind of got me too. There was this trick of getting me, like the whole time he telling me all this, we just walking around and end up in his office, sitting down, still talking, doing something on the computer. I'm not really noticing like that. Next thing you know, he's like running my credit report, and it's like, you ready for the keys? And then, but needless to say, I ended up taking the car. But after I got it, I was happy with the purchase. No regret. But I would say coming out, I looked at it like, well, this would be my fun luxury sports car. Yeah, even though I could have got some type of sport Lexus car or whatever, but to me, with the 2SS, with everything leather, fully loaded, everything, to me that was luxurious enough. And just the power it put down, like, to me, 455 horsepower was more than enough. That's my first time ever having a car with that much horsepower. I don't think I ever had a car with more than 250. Because back in the day, I owned a Cadillac CTS. That was like an old 3, and that only pushed out like 230 crank or 225 crank. And I had an RX-8 once before, 2004, and that only pushed out like 230 horsepower crank. But that was it. And even then, it was like CTS didn't feel that fast compared to the RX-8. I guess, obviously because it's a little bit more lighter. But that RX-8 to me felt like it was the fastest of them all, out of all the cars I had. I already had thoughts of taking it to the track, do a road course at least once, autocrossing at least once in it. But if I enjoyed it and wanted to do more, I'd just make it maybe no more than 3 times a year. I do it during the season or whatever. And that was just my whole thought about it. Because I was just more concerned about being brand new. So I've always been used to buying used cars. Only one other time I bought a brand new car, and I just felt like, it's a waste because it depreciated so fast, this and that or whatever. But I know these Camaros hold pretty good value. But my whole thing just, keep low miles as much as possible, and then have it to where my warranty is just good or whatever. I knew that if I put the supercharger on it, I would avoid it. But anyway, after having it 6 months later, there was this new speed shop that opened up in the Richmond area, and they celebrated their grand opening with having a dyno day, where they have it where it's like a raffle. You can sign up, they do a raffle, and get chosen for a free dyno pool. They do 3 pools or whatever. So I ended up doing that just to see where the car was at, with the power to the wheel. And surprisingly, I was shocked. The car pulled out at 434 rear wheel horsepower and 436 rear wheel torque. I was shocked and surprised. Been all over the Camaro forum, this and that, skimming through most of the forums, and just reading up, trying to learn more about the car, and mainly the engine. I know not every dyno is the same, just used as a tool for tuning. I'll check y'all again next time. Thanks for checking me out. If you can, just subscribe and hit that like button. I'll try to continue with content. Peace.